They don't tell you this when you chase success. You work, you sacrifice, you win, and then, when you finally reach the top, you look around, only to realize you're standing there alone. Success is glorified. The grind, the hustle, the sleepless nights, they're all part of the narrative. But there's a hidden chapter no one talks about. The loneliness that comes with it. The higher you climb, the fewer people truly understand you. The more powerful you become, the harder it is to trust anyone. Today we're diving deep into why success isolates people, how even the greatest minds in history suffered from it, and what you can do to avoid the same fate. At first, success is thrilling. You start at the bottom, full of ambition. You work harder than anyone else. You make sacrifices that others aren't willing to make. And at first, you're surrounded by people, friends, family, colleagues. They cheer you on. They admire your dedication. But then something shifts. Let's take Elon Musk. When he was building PayPal, Tesla, and SpaceX, he was surrounded by people, but few actually understood him. Musk once said, "I'd rather stick a fork in my hand than go to a party." Why? Because when your mind operates at a different frequency, normal conversations feel empty. Your circle shrinks. Not because you want it to, but because you no longer relate to most people. Steve Jobs had the same problem. He was a visionary, but that vision cost him relationships. People admired him, but they didn't connect with him. His own colleagues described him as ruthless, emotionally distant. He was successful beyond imagination, but at what cost? Success demands sacrifices. Social events, you miss them. Relationships, they get strained. Sleep, forget about it. And in the process, you outgrow people. The friends you once had, the conversations you used to enjoy, they feel different now. You start to feel like you're operating on an island, isolated in your own mind. At some point, something clicks. You're not just working harder than everyone else. You're thinking differently. You start seeing the world in a way others don't. You recognize patterns, opportunities, risks that no one else sees. Nikola Tesla was a perfect example of this. He saw the future, electricity, wireless communication, before anyone else could even comprehend it. But because of this, he lived most of his life alone. He once said, "Be alone, that is the secret of invention. Be alone, that is when ideas are born." He died penniless, feeding pigeons in a park, forgotten by the world that once called him a genius. Then, there's the problem of trust. When you become successful, people look at you differently. Some admire you, some resent you, and some want something from you. You start questioning people's intentions. Do they like me for who I am or for what I can offer? The more powerful you become, the harder it is to find genuine connections. This is why so many CEOs, entrepreneurs, and celebrities struggle with relationships. The wealthier they get, the more people surround them, yet they feel lonelier than ever. This is also why some of the richest people in the world spend millions on therapy, retreats, and meditation, just to feel normal again. The loneliness isn't just emotional, it's physical. Science backs this up. Studies show that loneliness has the same impact on your health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. It increases your risk of heart disease, depression, and even early death. Ever heard of Howard Hughes? He was one of the richest men in history, but as he got more successful, his paranoia grew. He isolated himself in dark rooms, refused to see people, and spent his last years in total seclusion. Success can make you paranoid. You start second-guessing everyone. You wonder if people truly care or if they're using you. And this fear of being used keeps you from forming new relationships. And the worst part, once you've made it, going back is impossible. You can't just return to your old life, your old friends, your old mindset. The gap is too wide. At this stage, many successful people reach a breaking point. Some turn to alcohol, some to drugs, some to reckless behavior, anything to escape the crushing weight of their own isolation. Robin Williams, a man who brought joy to millions, struggled with deep loneliness. So did Anthony Bourdain. So did Avicii. They had the world at their feet, fame, fortune, admiration, yet they felt utterly alone. This is why so many people, despite their success, end up depressed. The human brain needs connection. We are wired for it, and without it, no amount of money or achievement can fill that void. So, is there a way to have both success and connection? Yes, but it requires intentional effort. Keep a small, trusted circle, quality over quantity. Warren Buffett still has the same best friend he's had for decades. Prioritize relationships. Don't let success consume you to the point where you forget to live. Find people on your level. The reason masterminds, networking groups, and high-level retreats exist is because successful people need to connect with others who understand them. Give back. Many billionaires, after reaching the peak of success, realize that fulfillment comes from helping others, not just accumulating more wealth. The truth is, success doesn't have to be lonely, but if you let it, it will be. The irony of success is that the very thing you worked so hard for, the freedom, the power, the recognition, can also become your greatest burden. If you're not careful, you'll reach the top, look around, and realize you've built a castle too high for anyone else to reach. But it doesn't have to be this way. True success isn't just about making money, building empires, or being admired. It's about balance. It's about having people in your corner, people you trust, people who remind you why you started in the first place. Because at the end of the day, no matter how successful you become, if you don't have people to share it with, what was it all for? If you found this video valuable, watch the next one on your screen right now. It might just change your life.